In April of last year, I uploaded a video on my YouTube channel titled "I Want the Second Best Cape in RuneScape." It was the first video in this series, and it was all about getting the Construction Cape, one of the best utility items in the game, especially for a UIM. The title was kinda silly, and it prompted some joke comments, but it was true. The Construction Cape is the second best cape in the game, the first being the Max Cape, which brings us to this video. I have decided that I want to max my Ultimate Iron Man account. This is something that I've known I wanted to do for a while now, but I wanted to wait until I had finished a lot of my PVM goals first, and in the last video I finished my most ambitious goal to date on the account by obtaining the best weapon in the game, the Twisted Bow. Alright, let's see what it is. Let's see our prayer scroll. Oh my god! Oh my god! So now I feel like it's the perfect time to take on the even bigger goal of maxing the UIM. The Max Cape is the most useful utility item in the game by a mile. It contains every single effect of every skill cape in the game. Infinite house teleports, it's in the Max Cape. Extra herb yield, it's in the Max Cape. Best bank teleport in the game, Max Cape. Double passive healing, 5 daily spellbook swaps, extra restoration from prayer potions, ammo saving, no degradation on essence pouches. It is all there, and it is all in one inventory slot. But even though this item is extremely useful, it's also extremely difficult to get. Maxing an account means getting all 23 skills in the game to level 99 for a total level of 2277, until they add sailing to the game, and I will figure that out when it happens. Maxing is one of the most prestigious things you can do on a RuneScape account, but it takes a very long time, especially on a UIM. In fact, at the time of recording this voiceover, there are only 333 UIMs who have ever done it. For a sense of scale here, I'm expecting this grind to take me through the rest of the year at least. This is a big task. I don't really like doing the whole this is a new season of my UIM series thing, but this is as close as you're gonna get. Okay, so what first? I'm gonna be thinking about what order I want to do some of these skills in, but before I go all in on getting my first new 99, I need to take some time to clear out my inventory. I spent the last 4 or 5 months building up raid rewards, and I need to go ahead and get those used up so I have some space to work with. And also, now that I have the Twisted Bow, there's some equipment that I want to get rid of as well. First up, the crystal body and legs. I've been hinting at this for a while, but now that I have both the T-bow and the blowpipe, there's not a lot of content where the Bow of Ferdinand is best in slot, and even in those cases, other methods are still totally viable. The Bofa itself is still storable in a stash unit, but the crystal armor is not storable at all, so I will be reverting these to their crystal armor seeds after using them for the last year and a half, and dropping them to the main for about 23.5 mil. Those are really nice to get out of the inventory since they're untradeable, which means I can't bag them. They have to be either in depth storage or in the inventory itself. Next up, and this is probably the one that's going to get some people mad at me, is the Dragon Hunter crossbow. Here's the deal. First off, for virtually all content that I could use this for, I now have a better weapon. For head phase at the chambers, I have the Twisted Bow. For Hydra, the Twisted Bow. For Vorkath and all the low-level dragons, I have the Dragon Hunter Lance. So the only thing we're dropping this now is going to potentially cause problems for the future is if I decide at some point that I want to do the speedrun combat achievements for Vorkath or Galthic. I don't see myself going for the Grandmaster tier of combat achievements on this account. For reference, I think the number of UIMs who have done that might still be in the single digits, and I'm just not at that level of skill. So even if I decide to go for the Master tier or something, I'll have some leeway to do other tasks instead. So I will be dropping the DHCB to the main for 60 mil, as well as both stacks of bolts that I've been holding on to. So in total, I lost an inventory slot with the T-bow, but freed up 5, so things are looking pretty good. Okay, so with those out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and clear out most of the raid rewards. The Pure Essence is going to stay for a bit since that's going to take a really long time to use up, but I want to clear out all my gems, ores, and herbs. There's all the gems cut and sold to the shop here for a bit of money. The next one is going to be significantly more money though, so I'm pretty excited for this one. Alright, I have been saving up the rune ore and coal from the Chambers grind, and here's where I can cash it in. I'm going to be turning these into bars at the blast furnace, then using the anvil there to turn them into items to alch. I did the math, and the best high alch value per bar that I'm able to get at 90 smithing is swords, so I will be making 457 rune ores into 457 rune swords, and alching them all for a total of about 5.7 mil. And yes, I know that's not a ton of money, but I am excited to try this out. Okay, I know there's probably a more optimal way of doing this, especially if you have like a coal bag or something, but I'm going to be putting 4 inventories of coal into the furnace and then 1 inventory of rune, and that should match up perfectly, since it's normally 8 coal to make a rune bar, but the blast furnace cuts that in half. And there we go, I can just pull the bars out now, then head on over to the anvil and AFK myself some rune swords. Alright, about an hour later, that's 457 rune ores used up, and over 5 mil cash. I'm gonna go ahead and just drop the rest of the coal over to my main, since I'm not really gonna have a use for it when I get around to going for 99 smithing. The methods I'll be doing for that, they just don't use coal, so it's not needed there. And now it's time for the gold ores. I have almost 10,000 of these, which should get me over 500,000 smithing XP. I'm actually pretty excited to start on these since the UIM method for using noted gold ores has actually changed recently. Previously, you would just use the bank chest on the south side of the blast furnace to unnote your gold ores, but now we're able to take advantage of the ore shop here. This shop is special because it always sells the ores for the same price, even if it's overstocked. This means that Iron Men can buy the ores here, again, even if it's overstocked. So for UIMs, we can actually use this kind of like the NPCs that unnote items for you for a cost. I can just sell some of my noted ores and then buy them back from the shop and they will be unnoted. So now that I don't have to run back and forth between the furnace and the bank chest, I should be able to get some pretty good XP rates here. The downside is that this costs money, specifically 165 GP per ore, since that's the difference between the buy price and the sell price. So I'm going to be paying about 1.6 mil to get this done a lot faster. And if you were wondering, this is what I was doing for the coal for the rune bars, but I couldn't do that with the rune ore since this shop doesn't sell those. And there we go, I actually ended up smithing more gold ore there than just the 10,000 I had noted since the shop periodically gets restocked, so I thought I might as well just get some more XP on the grind. I did get 91 smithing through this, but more importantly, I actually hit a really big milestone on the account. 300 million total XP. Not only is that a nice round number milestone, but it's almost exactly the minimum amount of XP required to max an account. So that's kind of funny that I'm basically starting the max grind at that point. So for me, this method ended up being about 320k XP per hour. It is possible to get over 400k per hour with some more intensive methods, like having an alt stock the shop for you instead of using noted ores, and also having an alt throw water on the bars so you don't have to use ice gloves at all, but I wasn't really interested in doing any of that for just using up my raid rewards. So that's the ores done, and now it's time for the part that's going to take a while, the herbs. I've already shown what this process looks like, so I'll be speeding through it in the video, but just know that I am about to process about 2.8 million herb lore XP's worth of herbs and seeds. So one thing that's actually changed since the last time I was showing this in the video is now that I have the diary cape, and specifically the Mauritania Elite Diary, I now have access to the Harmony Island herb patch, so that actually speeds up the herb farming by about 13%, so that's nice. I'm also farming all the secondaries I can alongside the herb seeds, so right now that's mainly the limpwort roots, snape grass, white berries, and potato cacti. And I think with these snape grass, I'll be getting a level here. Yeah, 97 farming. I'm kind of hoping that I can do as much of 99 farming possible passively, so I just don't need to worry about that one. Alright, after about 9 days, that is all the herbs and secondaries farmed, I think what I'm going to do at this point is make all the potions I can except for the brews and ranging pots, since getting the secondaries for those is a lot nicer when you have more inventory space. Cool, so that has gotten me to 96 herb lore, and you may also notice that I'm done making super combats, but I still have a ton of torstals left over, and I think I'm going to go ahead and just keep these torstals for more super combats later when I have more Catentines to make super defenses, instead of turning them into Zammy brews and dropping them. I think I'm going to care more about having more super combats later than I will about having more herb lore XP now, especially since just going through these raid rewards is not going to be enough to get me to 99. I guess now I'll go ahead and start getting some Zammy wines for the dwarf weeds, and I'm not really looking forward to this one, and you're about to find out why. This is going to be my method for getting Wines of Zamorak, telegrabbing in the Deep Wilderness Dungeon. So basically you death pile to get everything out of your inventory, then you pick up an air staff and a stack of law runes. Then you use the lever to get to the Deep Wilderness to go to the dungeon, and you start telegrabbing. Because I'm death piled, there is no risk of losing my items to PKers, but I do lose all my progress on the trip if I get PK'd. So basically I have to choose how much lost progress I'm willing to risk, and that determines how long the trips are, and therefore how many wines I can get per hour. I think I'll start with 250 law runes per trip and see how that goes. I also have to be extremely careful and make sure I make it back to my death pile with plenty of time to spare, because if I spend an hour logged in without re-death piling, that is basically a full wipe. Everything on my account gets deleted, so basically I'm going to be spending the next few hours of my life very paranoid. By the way, this method is only viable because I have the Hard Wildy Diary complete, since that notes the wines as they go into your inventory. Otherwise, I'd only be able to do like 27 wines per per trip, and I'd have to make the potions after each trip. It just would not be reasonable. Pro tip, by the way, if you're ever doing this method, do it on the highest population world that you can. The respawn time on items is directly tied to the world population, so the closer it is to full, the faster your trips go. Of course, the downside is that all the bots are trying to do the same thing, and there are a lot of them, so it can be pretty difficult to find a world. Log out, log out, log out, log out. Yes! Fuck you, man.
Here we go, 16.7 mil split each. That is absolutely huge for my account, and so far it's going a long way. Huge upgrade.
Wait, what? Did he just... What? You know what? I'm just gonna do this and then home teleport. All right, there we go. That's the last one. Oh my god, that was like 4 hours in the wilderness, like over 4 hours, maybe closer to 4.5. Yeah. Now I don't have to do that again for a very, very long time. And that's the ranging potions made. Just one more type of potion left, but it's going to be the big one because it's going to be more brews, so I'm off to the giant mole once more to get 32.99 mole parts so that I can trade them in for bird's nest for those. This is about as many mole KC as I had to get last time I did a mole grind a few videos ago, but this time it's actually going to be a lot faster, I think, because it turns out the twisted bow is really good here. This is so stupid. I'm in near max range using my twisted bow for the first time against the giant mole. That said, I'm not using the dragon arrows I built up from raids for this. That would be a big waste. So I'm using rune arrows instead, since you can just buy those from shops. Okay, well, I thought this might have happened. That is my first duplicate giant mole pet. I've already gotten the mole. I got it pretty early, I think like pre-1000 KC, and I actually just passed the drop rate for the pet, which is 1 in 3000. So yeah, there we go. Second mole pet on the UIM. All right, that is the last one. Basically 1100 moles killed. Let's close this herblore grind out. 97 herblore, that's the last level I'm going to be getting from this. I'm still not fully sure how I'm going to close out 99 on the account, but that's something I can figure out later. I am getting a decent amount of herb siege from the seed nests though, so that'll help. And we are done. Oh my god, that took a while. In case anyone's wondering how long it takes to go through 5 months worth of raid rewards, it's this long. Though actually, this may not be the best representation since I got COVID in the middle of it, which really messed me up for a bit and made it so I couldn't play as much, but oh well. But now we are done, and I can finally move on. I feel like now I'm finally out of raids mode, and I'm ready to start doing some other stuff. I have one more thing to do on my to-do list before I start my first new 99 grind, and that's that I want to catch up on some quests on the UIM. There's 5 quests that I missed during the raids grind, and most of them are the quests from the Varlamore Part 1 release. But before I check out the new continent, it's time to finally take out the Defender of Varrock quest. I did this quest on my main pretty recently, along with all the Varlamore quests, so I know there's not really too much going on in this one. And here are the armored zombies that they added with the quest. They do have a unique drop, being the zombie axe, but I don't really have any reason to go for it on the UIM since I have weapons that outclass it entirely, like the whip and the rapier. Cool, Defender of Varrock is done. And now it's time to finally check out this new region that everyone's talking about. Okay, so I am starting off with the Twilight's Promise quest, which is the big intro quest for Varlamore. I'm kind of speeding through these quests since I did it all on my main recently, but I'm still pretty interested in the story for this area and where they're going to go with it, so I'm looking forward to what they come up with for part 2. Alright, quest complete. One of the things that I got for this was access to the Quetzal transport system, but I won't be able to use a lot of the locations until I start doing Hunter Rumors. So next up is the quest that everyone was talking about on Varlamore release day. And welcome back to the 73rd annual Hop Off. Our contestants here are ready to show the world what they're made of and shit. Alright, that is the riveting tale of a lily pad labor dispute done. That one's really more of a joke quest than anything to show off any of the content in Varlamore, so the next one's going to make up for that though, which is the Perilous Moons quest. So this quest is sort of a tutorial for the Moons of Peril boss gauntlet, and it's not really something I'm going to be doing anytime soon on this account. I think I'm going to be doing other Varlamore stuff before this, like Hunter Rumors and stuff like that, but it's still really cool content. I really like how this environment looks. Alright, Perilous Moons complete. One more left to go. This last quest is going to be At First Light, which is the tutorial quest for Hunter Rumors. I'd normally leave Perilous Moons for last since it's the only quest that has any sort of like challenge or anything, but this one's actually going to transition well into what I'm planning to do after I'm done with these quests. Alright, that should be the end of the quest. At First Light is completed, and I'm back at all quests complete. Like I said, this actually transitions really well into the next thing I'm wanting to do on the UIM, which is finally getting into the maxing grind. I've decided on what my first new 99 is going to be, and it should be pretty obvious from how much I've been hinting at it, but the next skill I'm going to get to 99 is Runecraft. It's Hunter. Come on, it was obvious. So here's the deal with Hunter. With the release of Varlamore, they added the Hunter Guild and Hunter Rumors. It's a new training method that works a lot like Slayer tasks or farming contracts. Basically, they give you a creature to hunt, you hunt it until you get a rare drop from it, and then you turn it in for bonus XP and rewards. This method is going to be particularly nice for me as a UIM because not only is it the best XP per hour outside of tick manipulation, the rewards are going to help with some of the other skills I also need to get to 99. Specifically, the two most difficult skills to train on a UIM, Prayer and Herblore. Doing Hunter Rumors is going to give me a bunch of passive bagged XP in both of those. Now, based on that description, it may seem like this is going to be extremely repetitive, and it is to some extent, but they did design this in such a way that there is room for a lot of strategy, until Jagex doesn't like the strategy and they kill it, dramatically nerfing the XP per hour. The first thing I'm going to be prioritizing here is setting up the Hunter Masters. This is going to allow me to effectively quote-unquote block certain Hunter creatures, kind of like blocking a Slayer task, so I never have to deal with that one. This works because of the intersection of a few different mechanics. First, there are 6 different Hunter Masters that you can get rumors from, one at the Novice level, 2 at Adept, 2 at Expert, and 1 at Master, though I can't use that one until 91 Hunter. And secondly, you can get a different rumor from each of them simultaneously, and they are tracked separately. And third, you cannot get the same rumor from 2 different Hunter Masters. So basically, if I use the lower level rumors until I get one that I don't like, I can keep from getting that rumor when I'm doing the higher level ones. I'm going to be following the wiki's optimal block list, because it guarantees that I won't get any rumors where I have to do Kebbit tracking, deadfall traps, or pitfall traps. Okay, cool, I got my first task that I'm going to block, which is Sunlight Antelopes, so now I need to get one of the Kebbit tracking tasks from the next one. One thing that's annoying about this process is that you may be thinking that it'll be like super quick since I'm trying to get the bad tasks specifically to not do them, but that's actually not quite how it works. Like right now, I got a Horned Grack rumor, and that's normally a bad one, but it's specifically not available on the higher tier Hunter Masters, so it's not one that I'm trying to block, so I just gotta do it if I get it while I'm trying to set up the block list. It also doesn't help if you manage to go super dry on those tasks to the extent where you hit the guaranteed drop rate for the rare item. Cool, the second block is done, Razorbacked Kebbits. Alright, this is going to be another early goal I've been working towards, which is 10 rumors completed, which gives me the first tier of the Quetzal Whistle, which teleports me to the Hunter's Guild. It's not quite as close as the Hunter Cape would get me, but it's still a lot closer than the Fairy Ring, which is nice. You charge the whistle with the Hunter meats you get, either from trapping certain creatures or as rewards from rumors. From now on, the higher tiers won't be normal KC based unlocks like this one was, they will be RNG based, though they do have a guaranteed drop at a much higher KC if you happen to go really dry. Alright, Sabertooth Kebbits are blocked, there's just one more, and it's Sabertooth Coyotes. The good news is that now there's only one bad task that's unblockable while I'm looking for this, which is Pyre Foxes. Ooh, yes, I was opening my Adept reward since I'm moving on to Expert ones now, and I got the Enhanced Whistle Blueprint, that is 1 in 50. Also, I forgot to show this off earlier, but this is the best teleport animation in the game now. Now that I'm doing the rumors that can give you red salamanders, I'm going to go ahead and get some runes for the Orania teleport. It's going to be important to have all the best teleports to all these different creatures, and this teleport puts you right there. Hey, there we go, that's the block list completed. Now I'll just be using Tico from now until 91 Hunter when I unlock the Master rumors.
Ooh, oh my god, I got the pet.
Oh my god, what the hell? Here I am, like, Oh boy, I got the headwear. No, I got the pet. Okay, so what I was going to say is that that's my first piece of the Guild Hunter outfit, which I'll be passively collecting on the way to 99. Each piece increases your chance to successfully catch a hunter creature, and when you're doing it for a rumor, it also increases your chance to get the rare drop. So that's a really good thing to get early on in the grind. 1 in 50 for each piece, by the way. But yeah, the much more important thing here is the Ketson pet, which I got in the same reward sack as the headwear. That is a 1 in 1,000 reward from completing expert or master rumors. It looks great too, I'm really glad I unlocked it. And right after that, 89 Hunter, that is the level to catch lucky implings for the very slim chance that I ever encounter one of those. Ooh, yes, this is the next big thing I've been looking for. It's the Huntsman's Kit. So this is another 1 in 50, and it's going to be extremely important for this grind on a UIM because it lets you store hunter tools like box traps and nets. That's going to make my inventory so much easier to manage. Oh my god, right after that, the perfected whistle blueprint. That is ridiculous. So for reference here, I have gotten 4 different uniques at 1 in 50 within 25 rumors completed, and I also got the pet, which is a 1 in 1,000. My luck has been kind of ridiculous here, but yeah, the perfected Quetzal whistle. This is the highest tier of whistle, and it holds up to 50 charges. Oh, I completely forgot about this. There's another strategy that I can do to speed this up. You can talk to the scribe here to enable or disable back-to-back rumors, and because some of the rumors I can be assigned are much faster than others, I can turn it on for those and then turn it off for the bad ones so I never get them back-to-back. Well, I lost the clip for this because my PC crashed in the middle of recording it, but this last rumor I did got me to 90 Hunter, which is not only base 90s on the UIM, but look at this, 2.2k total level. That is the last 100 total level milestone left in the game, just 77 more levels to max. Hey, there's the second piece of the outfit, the Guild Hunter top. Alright, this rumor is going to get me the last really big milestone I have left on this grind, which is 91 Hunter, which unlocks the master tier of Hunter rumors. This is going to change how I do this grind pretty significantly since it adds a lot of new creatures that can be assigned. Oh my god, and right after that, the Guild Hunter legs. I'm now at 3 out of 4 for the full set. Alright, that is a perfect spot to cut this one off. In the next video, I'm going to be figuring out the new method for Master Rumors, finishing the Guild Hunter outfit, and taking Hunter across the finish line. See you there.